Hello students. Today's topic we are going to revise the topic Treponema palladium. I repeat, Treponema palladium. What is Treponema palladium? What are the special characteristics of it? Treponema special characteristics are they are gram-negative bacteria. Then they resemble the shape of spirochetes, that is helically coiled cells. They are having a coil-like cells. Then they are motile, they can able to move. They are non-spore forming, they don't produce or they are not having any spores. They know reproduction by spores. Then non-encapsulated, they are not having any extra covering of capsule. The next, micro aerophile, they are particularly micro aerophile or micro aerophilic. Next, Treponema palladium special characteristics, if you are seeing, they are obligate pathogens. Reservoirs are human only reservoir, not normal flora. So only reservoirs are human. Transmission are direct contact or sexual or perinatal. So transmission or direct contact, either sexual or by perinatal contact. Okay. Toxins, none in particular, not even LPS. They doesn't have any toxins over any other form. So I repeat, Treponema pallidum special characteristic are obligate pathogens, reservoir are only human, transmission are by direct contact, and then sexual or perineal contact. Diseases produced are primary syphilis, secondary syphilis, congenital syphilis. So primary, secondary, congenital. Under the congenital, early congenital and late congenital. Congenital means you know already, it is by birth itself the child will be having the infection. Disease, primary syphilis, a single small painless depressed ulcer with elevated margin. Elevated margins. A single small painless depressed ulcer with elevated margins. So that's we can able to see chancery at the site of initial infection. Then fever will be present. Then headache will be there. Anorexia and local lymphadenomegaly will be present. So over here, small painless depressed ulcer is called chancery is there at the site of initial infection. Small painless depressed ulcer. Then fever will be there. Then headache is there. Anorexia and local lymphadenopathy will be or lymphadenomegaly will be present. Then primarily occurs on the external genitalia. Then periodically in chance or perianally, if which part is getting contact. If orally they are having sexual intercourse, orally it will get contact. Or if perianally, if it is present, if it is, then there is possibility or there perianally. Then occurs within 3 to 6 weeks after initial infections. Then spontaneously resolves in 3 to 6 weeks. So 3 to 6 weeks the infection will be present. Then next to 3 to 6 weeks spontaneously it will resolve. Then caused by Treponema palladium infection of the skin may progress to secondary syphilis. We'll move to the secondary syphilis. This is about primary syphilis. Secondary syphilis. Secondary syphilis are small, flat, erythematous rashes of the palm and sole, and small, painless papules. That is called as condyloma lata. Condyloma lata, which indicates a small, flat, erythematous rashes. कहाँ कहाँ मिलेगा? Palm, soles, and at the same time it is painless papules of the groin and axilla and generalizely lymphadenomegaly. Occurs in 12 to 18 weeks after initial infection. Then spontaneously resolves in 3 to 6 weeks. This also after 12 to 18 weeks. So before we saw that 3 to 6 weeks it will come. Then within 3 to 6 weeks it will resolve spontaneously. Then after that occurs 12 to 18 weeks. So including that 3 to 6 weeks. The next it starts from 12 to 18 weeks. The secondary infection starts. Then spontaneously resolves in 3 to 6 weeks. Caused by Treponema palladium septicemia. This is secondary one. May progress to tertiary syphilis. So later, the secondary will be progress to tertiary syphilis. So moving on to the tertiary syphilis. Tertiary syphilis are nodular, well circumscribed caseating granulomas, that is we can call it as gumas. So in primary we saw that in primary it is having chancery, in secondary it is having condyloma lata, and in tertiary it is having gumas of the skin, then liver and bone, obliterative endat- endarteritis of the vasa vasorum leading to aortic aneurysms, that is cardiovascular syphilis. So here particularly this gumas will be present in the liver, skin, bones, and in the layers of the heart, which is nothing but it's a nodule-like structure circumscribed, creating granulomas of skin or cardiovascular or liver. Then meningitis, then obliterative endarteritis of the cerebral arteries leading to cerebral infarct and permanent central neural damage leading to general paresis and tabs dorsalis, that is neurosyphilis, occurs in 3 to 15 years after initial infection, occurs in 30% of untreated patients, caused by Treponema pallidum accumulations in tissues. So this is about Treponema pallidum primary, secondary and tertiary syphilis. Moving on to the congenital syphilis. Congenital syphilis or early congenital syphilis. So over this early congenital syphilis. Early congenital syphilis, small, flat, erythematous rashes of the palms and soles will be present soon after the birth of the child. And sometimes you can able to see that secondary syphilis like condyloma lata of the groin and axilla, osteitis, rhinitis, snuffles. Then hepatosplenomegaly and generalized lymphadenomegaly. So liver and spleen and lymph nodes, everything will be enlarged. Then occurs immediately after birth. Spontaneously resolves in 1 to 3 weeks. Caused by intrauterine Treponema pallidum infection. The mother is having perineal infection. So the when the baby was passed via the perineal canal, normal delivery cases में हो सकता है. Treponema pallidum septicemia may progress to late congenital syphilis. So this is about early congenital syphilis. Moving to the late congenital syphilis. Late congenital syphilis, that is this is the tertiary signs and symptoms, that is called gumas of the cartilage of the nose and bone of the hard palate and the teeth leading to deformities of the face, which gives a look like bulldog faces. Then gumas of the tibia and fibula leading to deformities of the legs. So Saber-Sins is about having the face abnormality like a bulldog, at the same time having deformity of the legs. Then occurs in 1 to 3 years after birth, caused by Treponema pallidum accumulation in tissues. Treponema pallidum accumulation in tissues. So this is about the types of Treponema pallidum. So primary, which is having chancery; secondary, which is having condyloma lata; tertiary, which is having gumas. At the same time, congenital syphilis early onset, same like secondary, it is having condyloma condyloma later. Then late congenital syphilis, this is like a tertiary syphilis, which is having gumas. And here bulldog like phases will be present. At the same time, extremities will be having deformities, tibia and fibula, particularly in those places, the gumas will be present. Then diagnosis of syphilis. First, history and clinical examination is one of the important one. Then here dark field microscopy, special technique used to demonstrate the spiracate as shiny motile spiral structure with a dark background. Then the specimen includes oozing from the lesions or sometime lesions, that is aspirate. It is usually positive in the primary and secondary stages, and it is most useful in primary stages when the serological tests are still negative. Particularly, they are taking the lesions from the we can able to say like pimple like structures are present, na, like condyloma lata and chanceries. So they will take the sample from that one. The next, diagnosis of syphilis, direct detection of spirochetes, dark field microscopy, motile bugs plus experience plus prompt examination. Then silver stain, particularly silver stains are used to find out the flagella. Culture not used. Then serology non-specific and specific test will be done. Is about diagnosis of syphilis, direct detections of spirochetes. So we can use the staining technique. Then silver stain, where for particularly for flagella identification, we are using culture and serology. Then serological test reveals patient's immune status, not whether they are currently infected. Use lipodial antigens rather than T palladium or components of its non-treponemal antigen test. So here this is a rapid plasma reagents particularly used. Then VDRL, venereal disease research laboratory will be done. These are the serological tests which is used to identify the infection as well as the individual's immune status. Then Tripodema pallidum laboratory diagnosis. Once again, I repeat, serological test we are using here. Overall serological, if you are taking non-treponemal test. The next, complement fixation test. The next, floculation test, that is VDRL test. Next, serological test. In any method, if you are using the positive within 5 to 6 weeks after infection, then strongly positive in secondary phase, then strength of reaction is stated in dilutions, may become negative with treatment or over decades. These are the serological test findings. Positive within 5 to 6 weeks after infection. So after infection within 5 to 6 weeks, if you are doing the serological test, you can able to identify. The next, strongly positive in secondary phase. The strength of the reactions is stated in dilutions. Non-treponemal test, antigen cardenolipin, that is beef fat plus lecithin and cholesterol. So here detects non-specific antibody regain, a mixture of IgM and IgG direct against some normal tissue antigen will be done to identify non-treponemal test. Then VDRL test for serum and CSF samples. Treatment, how we can able to treat? Treatments are one and only narrow spectrum penicillin, that is broad spectrum antibiotics has to be used, either penicillin or tetracycline. Then complete hygiene of the infected area, or as well as the personal hygiene has to be maintained. Then universal precaution of hand washing has to be maintained properly. So this is about Treponema palladium.